Hello, it's Alex again from the Remote Work Life Summit. I'm also the founder of remoteworklife.io. I hope this finds you well. My whole mission is to really help you if you're looking to transition from your co-located office space to a remote work life. Because I know that maybe you want a bit more flexibility, maybe you want to be able to even drop your kids off at school, for example. Maybe you want to be able to travel while you work so you can earn some money. And maybe you just really aren't able to get yourself involved with the commute, or you just don't like the commute at all. This was the whole reason I set up Remote Work Life, to help you if you're in any of those kinds of situations and you need to work from wherever you are. I also set up Remote Work Life because I wanted to raise awareness about remote work for those kind of scenarios that I mentioned before. I want to help you to connect with the companies, with the CEOs, with the hiring managers that require people to work remotely, because there are companies out there that hire on a remote basis. They're 100% remote businesses, some of them. There are businesses as well that aren't 100% remote, but there are lots of 100% remote businesses that hire people who have a desire to work remotely as well. I also want to help people who are currently digital nomads, currently remote workers, to really level up, go to the next phase of their career as a remote worker. And there are a number of important things that you need as a remote worker. And I've talked about a few of those things in previous videos. But one of the most important things that you need to understand as a remote worker, and this is something that I kind of learned myself in the past, but something that was really brought home to me by Nick Francis when I interviewed him. Nick Francis is the CEO of 100% remote business, Help Scout. And Nick really brought this home to me in an interview that I did with him recently for the Remote Work Life Summit, because we got talking about culture, and we got talking about the idea of imposter syndrome and how that is linked to culture. It's so important that when you're looking for businesses to work with, or if you're looking to be hired by a remote business, that you are really sort of aligned with the mission, that you're aligned with the values of the business, that in many ways that you can really get on with the people that you work with. Because, you know, when you're remote, you have to go all in. You have to really, I suppose, connect with what the work that you're doing and the people that you're working with. Because if you think about it, in a co-located office space, what you can do is you can go in there, and this is what Nick said to me, and it really sort of rang true with me. You can just go in to work, you can almost hide away in a corner, then you can do your day's work, and then you can come home. Whereas with remote working, as much as you're working alone for most of the time, you, in many ways, especially if it's a role that requires a lot of interaction with your team, if it's a sales role, if it's a marketing role, if it's a project management role, if it's a role in product development, whatever it may be, you need to be able to, as I said, really be on board with the mission, be on board with what the team is doing. Because if you're not, then it'll be obvious to everybody around you that you're not quite getting on, that perhaps you're not really sort of in touch with the work that they're doing, and in touch with the activities that they're getting involved with. So that whole idea of avoiding imposter syndrome by finding those remote businesses that you really connect with. And as I said in previous videos, I talked about how you can go about finding businesses that you connect with. So one of those things that you can do is really to understand the business that you want to understand yourself first and foremost. Which businesses are you really aligned with? Which problems in the world do you want to help to solve? Which niches and verticals do you really want to align with and really sort of put your skills to work? And which of those skills that you have do you feel as though you can really sort of thrive with? And which skills can you really sort of apply to a role or to a business and help them to move to the next level? Because more often than not, a CEO or a hiring manager wants to hire people who have got a real good amount of knowledge and experience and expertise and a track record in that skill area. So all of that adds up to you being, I suppose, in a way, a full stack individual, a package that can really sort of add value in many ways to the business that you work with. And all of that will give you the confidence as well to be able to believe that you can thrive in the business that you work with. It will give you the belief that you can get on with your colleagues, your friends, all those people that you meet as a remote worker. And that idea of imposter syndrome will go out the window. So, imposter syndrome is all about getting on, having a real understanding of the culture. So, as I said, watch some of my previous videos about being able to find businesses that really match who you are, businesses that you really understand, and really finding a team that you really understand. And really, I hope that helps you in some way or another. One of the videos I recommend that you watch actually is Darcy Bowles. Darcy is a really important part of TaxJar, taxjar.com. It's her role to actually make sure that everybody in TaxJar is happy, to make sure that everybody's engaged with the team. And her own story actually I hope will give you some inspiration, because she moved from a co-located office space to working remotely, and she really loves it. And now her role is all about bringing people within the team together. And if you listen to her session, you'll be able to understand the sorts of things that Darcy will do to really make sure that the team is thriving, make sure that nobody is actually dropping the ball, or nobody is actually, I suppose, drifting off in terms of not feeling happy. And it's really, part of that is, the idea of understanding and really having people in your team that you can really sort of learn from, and people that you can really sort of get on with. So watch Darcy's session, and I hope some of this has helped you. If you've got any questions to ask me, go to remoteworklife.io or look me up on Facebook and drop me a line. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the sessions from the Remote Work Life Summit, and I'll see you soon.